And we're live.
And we're live.
That is right.
What do you know about that?
So, Joshua, I was just talking with a mutual acquaintance on the phone right before this live stream started. None other than the infamous Joe Lavery.
Yeah.
And we were discussing, don't worry, Joe, I won't reveal anything about you live.
That he doesn't want revealed, right?
No, we were discussing consistency and the struggle that many entrepreneurs have, myself included, with showing up on a daily basis consistently to do the things that you know you need to do or think you need to do in order to build your business, right? And he was asking about our live streams and how long we'd been doing them and what we were using and how it was going and what was working and what was not working. And I was like, Joe, really good question. I had been in a pretty good funk for a couple of years and was just really running on a super small team. And I got to the point where I had very little consistency in my life. You and I decided to team up and work on relaunching NPod. And in that process, one of the things that we decided to do was to start doing daily live streams. I was already trying my best to do daily live streams, but I was pissed. You want to know why I was pissed?
Yeah.
I wasn't showing up every day. That's why I was pissed.
Yeah.
I knew I had the capability, but I wasn't holding my own feet to the fire. And I was stoked when, I don't know if you suggested it or I suggested it, but I was stoked when we decided that we were going to start doing live streams together, right? I was like, this is going to be better, I think. And
I think it was a mutual thing. I mean, I totally agree with that. And I think when it really took off, if memory serves, is when we decided to make an appointment with each other and
Right.
have a set time to do it. Because we had the intention for, I think, several weeks to do it on a regular basis, but we didn't set up a regular time,
We scheduled in, put it on Google Calendar, and then most of the time we're both there, right? And
Yeah.
most of the time we're both there on time. And so what happened was really cool. At least I think it's cool.
I agree.
We started live streaming 7 days a week, and we did that for a few months. And then we're like, you know what? Saturdays and Sundays just aren't giving us the same juice as Monday through Friday. So let's take the weekend off. And we did. And sure enough, Saturdays and Sundays were less of an impact. But one of the things that we started doing is we also started doing daily check-ins in the morning, which I've been doing for decades with my companies, but I had totally gotten out of the habit of doing because my team was so small. And so you and I started doing daily check-ins so we could make more
Right.
progress on what we were working on together, right? Focus both of our minds first thing in the morning. And
Yep.
lo and behold, we started making more progress. And
Amazing how that happens, huh?
right. And the quality, I think, and the focus of our live streams improved as a result.
Something that I meant to tell you, I don't know if you noticed this, but both of our, since we changed the time again, and we're now in the afternoon at this time, like yesterday, even though the interaction wasn't there, each of us had over 85 views by the end of our live stream immediately afterwards. And that only happened at our other times during, like with a really, really hot button, title that we seem to have come across. So I don't know whether the links yesterday were the issue. I mean, it just could have been a Monday. It also could have been that that people were just watching and listening rather than getting involved on the comments.
Yeah, it was interesting. And, is it the time of day that we changed, or is it that we shifted the titles and description to things that were more interesting and entertaining rather than marketing jargon?
Yeah, right? I think that had a lot to do with it, but I think the biggest underlying thing. If you look at the numbers, since we've shifted to the afternoon, I think you'll see that the overall number of views on each of our videos that are streaming on our personal profiles has increased, just based on that shift.
Yeah. I mean, one way or the other, things are improving, which is great.
Yeah. Yeah.
So guys, I'm going to read you this breakthrough email in just a couple of seconds. But to wrap up the conversation with Joe, he's like, I really need to talk to more people. He's like, I'm working at home. This is the plight of the internet marketer, by the way. I'm working at home during COVID.
Yep.
There are a lot of days I don't even leave my house. And
there's a lot of days I don't ever even brush my teeth.
and what ends up happening is, unless you proactively reach out to people, it's very easy to let those conversations dry up. And then both when you have conversations every day with people in your industry, in your niche, in your market, or who are interested in the same kind of things that you're interested in, not only will it drive you on a professional level and give you more connections, more opportunities, more ideas, more joint venture opportunities, more strategic opportunities, but it'll also just plain grow your brain. It'll help. Interesting conversations with smart people that you like.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Will grow your brain. You will become fascinated with life again. And so I recommend it. I recommend talking to people.
Recommend people?
Well, I don't know if I recommend people, but I definitely recommend talking to them. It can be very
good.
Some
people, I guess.
Some people, certain individuals, select individuals. So I'm going to read this email.
Go for it.
So let me tee it up. Guys, if you've never heard of the Relentless email, you're about to. I'm actually going to read the story of how all this started. It's very short. So the story behind how fictional email came to be. This is the first one. Okay, this email is called Relentless. It was sent early on a Saturday morning in what year was it? I don't even know what year it was. It was a while back. It was like 7 years ago, 2013. And
wasn't it around the time that all of the "you up" emails came out? Like, sending an email out in the middle of the night and saying, "You still up?" or "You up?"
Oh yeah, I think we actually started that trend.
I think you did too.
Yeah.
But I seem to remember like it might have been right around the same time as that.
Yeah, it's true. Okay, here we go. So it was early on a Saturday morning, and I was getting ready to take the kids to the farmer's market up the road. But first, I needed to get an email out for the day to my list, and I was feeling blocked. The kids were running around the hall, and they weren't helping my concentration at all. I had to come up with an email that was going to break the mold and knock it out of the park today. Just to try to get my brain working, I started typing out an email to myself. And then I thought, what if I wrote to myself 10 years ago? What would I say to my younger self? So the first word that popped into my head was relentless. And I kept typing. It was working. And as I finished the email, I thought, what if I sent this to my readers as their younger selves instead? So I just made a little tweak, and I changed the from line to be from older me. That's how it all started. True story. It's not the end of the story. You see, when I got back from the farmer's market an hour and a half later, I opened the admin panel to take a look at the email stats, and holy crap, my jaw completely dropped and sorry, this sounds scripted. I'm reading it. My jaw dropped open as I saw the single email had about 10 times the opens and the clicks of anything I'd ever sent out in the history of my business. Since then, my partner Jody and I have written my ex-partner Jody and I have written many emails inspired by that first one, and we developed a formula for creating these emails, and it includes about 10 different rules that seem to make them work every time. One of these rules is that they always come not from you, the entrepreneur or the business owner, but they come from something greater than yourself, something we like to call a anthropomorphic being or a mascot. And so I'm gonna read you guys the. What's up, Gene? Good to see you. I'm gonna read you the
just
email.
About to type that.
Nice. So this email, so it's a long copy email. It's a story. It's a time travel email, and it was the first blatantly fictional email that I'd ever written. And what happened was it ended up getting 10 times the opens, 10 times the clicks, and 8 times the revenue of my normal daily email broadcast at the time.
That doesn't suck.
It was amazing. And not only that, but we were sending to an old burned out sales letter. I just grabbed a convenient link because we had a sales letter that was a good old standby. You could send to it and make money, but we had sold so many thousands of copies of this product that I created called the Wealth Switch. It was a hypnosis money mindset program to my list. We had sold thousands, it was our best-selling thing, thousands of copies, but at this point, the letter was converting pretty low, and it was a low-cost tripwire offer. So I got just a little I just grabbed the link. I wasn't expecting anything special from it, but I ended up writing this email, and I sent it out. The opens were just through the roof. It was a long copy email, as I said. There was only one little teeny tiny link way at the bottom, and it exploded my sales. And not only did it explode my sales, but when I gave it to my affiliates to mail out, it exploded their sales too. And it created this entire new form of marketing that we now call fictional marketing or mascot marketing. It opened up a whole new way of writing to lists that tons of the highest level folks in the industry have learned from me and started using. So I want to read you the very first one. This thing is transformational. All right, here we go. So I also put it in the comments. So the subject line is relentless, all lowercase, one word. And so the email goes like this. Dear little first name, I'm writing to you from the future. I know this is a little weird, but it's the only way I could get a message through to you and know that you got it. It's 2023, which should be just about 10 years out from when you get this message. I know that you've done a lot in your life so far, but I want to tell you that there is something much bigger in store for you in the not too distant future. The problem is that there are a few things you must learn in order to achieve your destiny. But, well, there's no easy way to tell you this. Okay, here goes nothing. If you don't step up your game in the next couple of weeks, this future that I live in, the one that I'm writing to you from, it won't exist. Not at all. If things keep going the way they are right now, then everything is doomed. And when I say everything, I mean everything. As you progress, you're going to run into some problems, some serious problems. There are some big things in store for you, but in order to accomplish them, you're going to face your worst fears. You're going to go up against obstacles that you've never imagined. You must persevere. You must stay focused. You must be relentless. Every day driving toward your goal, your vision, your destiny. If you are going to be tremendously successful, if you are relentless, always in everything you do. Remember this the next time your spine quivers, the next time you consider giving up, the next time you face a challenge you aren't up for, press on, go forth. Great wealth awaits you. If only you have the courage to step forward and grasp what I've left behind for you, everything you need for phase 1 of your training is here. And that's a link. See you in 10 years. I hope it's going to be incredible. I hope you make it for everyone's sake. Shabambo, first name. All right, and then I signed it off with first name. So,
yeah. It'd be really cool to ask the people that are watching what their thoughts are, like if there are any insights like of the power that this, I mean, because I have a whole host of ideas, but so what? Like I'd love to know what it triggered for other people, and how they can apply that in their own marketing and emails.
Yeah, as would I. I would love to hear from you guys. What did you like about it? What worked about it? What gave you goosebumps? Right? What drew you in emotionally? Any feedback, thoughts, by all means, whether you're watching this live or recorded, go ahead and type it in. Let's open up a conversation about it. And,
yeah, for sure.
And if you guys agree with what Joshua is about to say, then chime in and respond to what Joshua's saying as we kick it off. So, what do you got?
Well, I without being blatantly ass kissy, I think it's one of the most brilliant things that I have ever heard as an email, and that you've ever done, frankly. And the power of it, yes, I like the idea of the mascot, but frankly, the power of it in my mind is that everything that at least for me, it was part of my inner dialogue at some point in my life. And it always has been, and, will be at certain times when I'm not at my best, right? Where I'm thinking these things. And by you saying it from me rather than directly from you, it's one thing if we're just outright, making a statement about, here's what's going to happen if you don't do this. And let's face it, most people want to just say, screw it. Who the hell, you don't know who I am. You don't know what's going on. But because of the way you did that, it really gives people permission to think about it as though they are the ones saying it. And of course, now there's no issues with it being like a blatant lie or blatantly made up, because of course it's blatantly made up, right? I mean, there's no question that it's fictional, right? So you have permission to say anything in that fictional. That's the beauty of Fred, right? Is that I can tell the story about Fred and how dumb Fred is, and how he flattened his head, and let people, if they so choose, put themselves in their shoes, which I do myself when I tell the story of but we're not Fred, or are we? And then I go on to, but the way that you've done it, it creates that openness, that connection where people are willing to accept it because it truly is them. And when you nail the inner dialogue, I mean, of course, the ones that don't resonate with it, don't resonate with it, right? But that's not who you're talking to. And you can't be all things to all people all the time. It just, that you water down, dilute your marketing by doing that. But I just think that you nailed it, particularly to the type of people that you were, writing to. We all, if we have any self-awareness, we all know that, as much as we may not want to admit it, we know that we struggle with self-confidence at times. We struggle with staying the course. We struggle with, I know I should be doing this, but I don't want to, or, I'll get to that tomorrow, or whatever. And having it come from them by way of you, it really, it comes off different. It connects on a different level. And it allows them and you to make your point, like where you're not having to convince anybody of your point. They've accepted it. And you flip the switch in their brain where it's no longer you imposing something on them. They have now, he's right. I'm right. I get to be right because it's me.
That's right.
Like that. So it's pretty cool.
Awesome. I happen to agree.
I thought you might.
That's right. Yeah, I have found that lots of people try to do this, and it doesn't work as well because they don't really know their clients or customers very well, and they can't match that inner dialogue at all. I've also seen a lot of people just change the from name to get attention and just to get opens, but The problem with that is
not carry it forth. Yeah.
Yeah. The whole idea here is that inner dialogue idea, except there are all of these inanimate objects. There are all of these cultural memes that we have about things, concepts, or even characters that all have a dialogue. They all have a conversation. They all have they take up a certain place in our mind. And so the easiest way to think about this is to start with other people or characters. An easy way is like Santa Claus or the Easter Bunny, two pretty good ones that a lot of people are familiar with, right? These are characters that we have all had, well, not all of us, but many of us have had relationships since we were kids, right? And so, and we trust to a certain degree, right? So getting an email from Santa Claus, especially in the middle of the summer, is an astounding experience if you nail the voice that is in your head about who Santa Claus is and why. The future email came from you, which makes it trickier to really, really get it dialed. And when you do, it's amazing. But we've written emails from, like, your sunglasses. We've written emails from, what else do I have around here? All sorts of stuff. Certainly from your credit card, your laptop, your favorite mug. All of these they all have a voice, and
sure.
And if you do it right, they not only have a voice, but they have a voice that you trust, and it's an incredibly powerful way to create a mascot. I went for a hike this morning with Lightning. Lightning's my daughter, and she's 9, and I was talking a little bit about marketing and emails. She's like, what'd she say? She's like, any company any business that's a real business has a mascot, she says. And she's like, that's what the marketing monkey would say. And then she's like, I don't really understand what you do. How does email marketing even work? And so I had a whole discussion with her about how it works. It was very cool.
That's cool. That's very cool.
She recently created the marketing monkey, and she wants to start writing a series of emails from the marketing monkey. And she's like, the marketing monkey will go around and do a little dance and tell everybody to join Tellman's email marketing program. and she's like, and everyone will join.
Right on. I like the confidence.
That's right. There's no hesitancy whatsoever. It was great.
Are you still going to do that course, how to make more money than your parents?
I sure hope so. Homeschool course, how to make more money than your parents. I sure hope so. Our homeschool group has taken a little bit longer to get brought together,
momentum,
coalesce than we intended, and so we're starting small. But I'm hoping it's gonna. If I don't do it right away, we'll do it next quarter.
I think that's, really a cool. Talk about not only helping the kids out enormously, but I think it would give them. Talk about self-esteem. Talk about the confidence boost, just to understand, and it's at a time when they're totally open. And I was just listening to, like, you tell the story about Lightning, and it reminded me of various points in time with Amy, like, and I've used Amy in many an email telling a story that was true and that just happened. Like, one of them was the subject line was "schooled by a 3-year-old." Mm-hmm. And I told this story about how Kathy said she was telling Kathy that when she was 3 that she wanted to go to her preschool more than twice a week, and Kathy didn't want that. She liked the personal time with her, and but Amy really started to like the kids, and she wanted to go more than twice a week, and so Kathy said to her, well, I have to think about that. I can't tell you right now. I got to think about that. And Amy said to her, you don't have to think about it. You just have to decide.
That's right.
And, like, I just doubled over laughing. But then I use that because that's exactly what, like we think, it's typical that we say, well, let me think on that.
Right.
And you really don't. It's because you don't want to say yes or no in the moment. You don't want to make a decision. And so it was very interesting, and of course that makes a huge impact in the marketing sense as well, because look, yes or no, I don't really care, but don't kid yourself and say maybe. Like if it's a yes, let's do this and make the decision right now to do it. If it's no, say no to yourself, like you're passing on it, and be all right with that. But this maybe shit, I want to think about it shit, is you're deluding yourself. And that was it was a much softer version. Today I probably would be about that hard with it. But back then but that's basically the message that came through. So like I just thinking about like the subject and the kids and who they are. I just think that what they would come up with would probably be some of the best coaching and consulting that you'd get.
Dude, I know. And what you're inspiring me to do right now is to just launch the course online and have people have their kids and the parents can take it too all over the place. It doesn't have to be something that's I can't believe I hadn't thought about this before. It doesn't have to be something that's limited to to my local homeschool pod group here in rural Vermont, right? It's like, this is a course that I could teach online that like, there's so many homeschool. And I bet a ton more on my list, it'd be great. Maybe we'll do that.
I got chills now that you're saying that.
I know, me too. That's how I'm feeling. Yeah. I think it'd be a great course to do.
I do too. I think it would be phenomenal and a great service,
Yeah, it would be awesome. I think, you know what? I'm going to do it. How about that? I'm not going to sit around and decide. I'm totally going to do it. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah. Not a question of if, now when.
That's right. That's right.
You got to figure it out,
probably too soon.
In the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, that's right. I know. Cool. Well, speaking of deciding to do something, if you want to become a better email marketer, if you want to get better at building your audience in your email list, if you want to get better at connecting with your audience through amazing copy, really understanding who they are so that you can write emails, do Facebook Lives, write sales letters, sales videos, create webinars, sell the products and services that you want to sell them and that they want to buy at a much, much, much higher level, then perhaps we should have a chat about that. I have a few spots on my calendar. You can go to www.letstalkprivately.com and book a time to chat this week. If you'd like to take your email game to the next level, Joshua and I could very well help you do that depending on what you have going on, what's going on in your life, what's going on in your business, what you're trying to accomplish. So if you want to chat about exactly what your email strategy is right now and how we could rework it to really get ultimately a lot more money out of your email list, even if you don't have an email list yet, but you have a business and a dream and you have the fire in the belly, that if you're looking for help and you like the videos that we've been doing, you enjoy the type of content that we're creating, and it makes sense for you, then please, by all means, join us at letstalkprivately.com, right below Joshua's eyes and over his nose and mouth.
It's like I'm being censored now. We got to talk privately.
Finally! I wish
we got to talk privately.
That's right. That's right.
If only it came with a mute button, Tellman, for you.
Well, I think I can actually do that from here. I'm not going to.
Yeah, actually, probably you can.
I won't. Who's Kilroy?
That's what I was doing, like where I'm peeking over the wall. I forget the cartoon, but it's like Kilroy was here or something. And it's like some eyeballs that I forget what but yes, I'm with you, Gene. I understand, but I don't remember entirely where Kilroy came from.
I'm going to look it up. An American symbol that became popular during World War II, typically seen in graffiti. What is the meaning? No tea. In reference to low supplies. Interesting. That's confusing.
I haven't seen it in graffiti, but maybe I have. I mean, I don't know. I always thought it was like eyeballs looking over the, like spying on you, or Kilroy was here. Kind of like Where's Waldo, but different.
Yeah, it's weird. It seems like it was a World War II meme.
Interesting.
Something to do with low supplies. Oh, very strange.
What do you know?
I didn't know. I still don't really know. But I do know something about email marketing, and so do you, Joshua Shafran.
A thing or two, yeah.
That's right. Awesome. Well, guys, I think that is our live for the day. It was great seeing each and every one of you, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. If you have any questions about marketing on the good old-fashioned internet, please go ahead and type them in. We would love to teach you how to make more money with your email list and how to grow your platform, how to really bring your business to the next level and get out of the trap that you've been stuck in. So if that sounds good to you, please click on through to letstalkprivately.com and we can schedule in a little bit of time to chat.
Sounds good.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Talk to you soon.
Thanks, Delman. See ya.
Bye.
Bye.